Government has decided to expand Heathrow, but why not Gatwick? With Zack Goldsmith resigning, will this be a triggering of a by-election with a referendum on Brexit or a referendum on Heathrow? Have we come to the realization as yet as to what is Brexit? Bankers are planning to also Brexit the UK if a hard Brexit is pushed. The Calais Jungle is now destroyed, which is the migrant camp in Calais with children arriving in the UK. But my question is this: why was it called a jungle in the first place? Trump versus Clinton. The saga continues. How divided is the USA now, and why should we be bothered? Hilary finally says she's going to dump Trump. But at the same time, the FBI is actually investigating Hilary. What is that saying in the next few days? Overseas in Jamaica, the killing of Khajeel Mais from 2011 to an acquittal of the alleged killer. Is there justice for the youths in Jamaica, or is there corruption in high places? It is the end of Black History Month. Were you inspired? Or are we shortchanging ourselves for just 1 month? This week on In Review, we're in Birmingham at the Copthorne Hotel. Mark you, there's life outside of London. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to In Review today, and I'm joined by Marcia Spence and Maxie Hayles, and we're in Birmingham. As I keep saying all the while, there's life beyond the M25. We're not in Westminster, we're in Birmingham.
Yes.
Marcia, how are you guys?
Great.
Maxie?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Take it to the max.
Yes.
So, Marcia, tell me, what do you do? What do you do?
I'm an author,
Yes.
speaker, confidence builder for women in leadership.
Awesome. So you're discriminating against men? I am. Wow. At least you're straight up to the point. And Maxie?
Well, I've been referred to as a human rights activist.
Or freedom fighter?
Freedom fighters, human rights activist, yes.
And you just did a book called Take It to the Max.
Yes, I just completed my memoirs, Taking It to the Max.
Yes. Well, listen, I want to talk about a couple of topics this week. And the first one is the government has decided to expand Heathrow. And I asked the question, why not Gatwick? But I think you've got some issues regarding this, Maxie.
Yes, I have, because I'm patriotic in terms of the region where I live.
Yes.
And Birmingham is excluded from the government expansion. And I every time there's a focus on London, Heathrow, Gatwick, Birmingham should have been expanded. So I've got a problem with that, big time.
And Marcia, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Maxie in terms of, yes, I mean, as a Midlander from Birmingham, when we need to travel, Gatwick is far too far.
Yes.
So I understand why. I think Heathrow, you know, it's the main
hub
of the country, really, and also for business, for international travel, and also for even the people that are going to work at the airport. I think it is a great place to expand rather than Gatwick.
Okay.
Although I would love for Birmingham to be expanded,
so really and truly,
because we can't travel, you know, for example, to go to Jamaica, you can only travel with, I think it's Thompson Cook,
and that's
to Montego Bay from Birmingham.
Okay.
That's the only way. Other than that, we have to go to Gatwick.
Yeah, it's too restricted.
Yeah.
Too far.
You know, and anything north of the Watford Junction, we always find that we're marginalised.
Yes.
And I think the region should be promoted, and the airport expansion is a start.
Now, there's another side to the whole coin where Zack Goldsmith, who was the MP for Richmond, he said he was going to resign if the government approved this. He has resigned. And now what he's saying, I want this to be a referendum on Heathrow, not Brexit. Do you think it's going to be a referendum on Brexit?
You know, when I saw that question, I thought, Silburn is playing me up here. This is a joke.
Yes.
Because who cares about whether Goldsmith resign or not?
Yes.
Good riddance.
Yes.
I don't think he likes the likes of us anyway,
Okay.
In terms of black people anyway. His policies, his suggestion and stuff doesn't favor us. So whether he resign from being a politician or whatever, I don't care.
Yes.
You know, I just had to laugh when I saw that, because at least not me, or my community will miss him.
Yes. So you're saying, Marcia and Maxie, that it doesn't matter what he thinks?
No, it doesn't. And I personally don't think there will be a rerun or referendum. I mean, we're out. We live in a democracy, let's put it this way. And that democracy suggested that the majority of the people of this country who voted, the electorates,
Yes.
want it out.
Yes.
So let's just deal with it. Get out, instigate Article 50, and let's get on with it. We
Marcia?
have to live with it.
Marcia, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, what I was thinking was, I don't think there'll be a referendum about Heathrow.
With the
Would there
Zack.
be a referendum?
Well, he's talking about that,
Him.
Yeah, his personal agenda, if anything like
Yeah.
that. But people are saying, who cares? Because
Yeah.
when they check the Whitney constituency, which was David Cameron constituency, they lost some of the Lib Dems climbed up, and they believe that the Lib Dems will climb up as well in the Richmond as constituency as well.
Okay.
So whether or not Zack is putting himself
It's
on the
irrelevant.
panel, it's irrelevant.
It's
It's irrelevant, and he's
It
got
is.
enough money, he can go and play somewhere else.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
there,
Wonderful.
well, there we go. now, I want to keep zeroing on to the Brexit because we
Okay.
deal a lot with the Brexit now.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're at that point now where people are accepting it? I mean, the bankers are talking about they want to leave, if anything, if it's a hard Brexit. But at the same time, Nissan is saying we want to actually build more cars in the UK.
Listen, the reality, as I said before, is that we're out of we're still in there, but
Still in Europe.
We're taking a democratic decision to leave. We're gonna have to get on with it. Yesterday's gone, but it's interesting enough that Theresa May appoint the two protagonists, namely what's his
Boris.
name, Boris, and Johnson.
David.
Yeah, to actually spearhead
Yes.
the Leave campaign. So we don't really know exactly the implication of this, but the signs are that we're in for a recession, as far as I'm concerned. And that's going to pose a big problem.
But when you think about it at the same time regarding Brexit,
Yeah.
David Cameron did not have to resign because
No.
Theresa May
Yes.
is a Remainer
Yeah.
who is why did he resign?
I think he made a mistake by going to for the referendum. But nevertheless, one could argue that no, so he should have gone for it because that's the wish of his cabinet.
Yeah.
He was bullied, if you like, into going for the referendum. I just think that the people who voted to leave was misguided. Scared tactics. And what I was disappointed about is the fact that it was based, many of the thought was based on immigration issues. We want, when you hear themes like we want our country back, that patriotic theme, it rings alarm bell. But I like what Cameron said, and I think this is some of the Tories who voted to leave will be thinking. He says, listen, I would much rather to be in Brussels, inside the door,
Yes.
rather than and listen to what's been discussed about me, as opposed to staying on the outside and knocking to hear what's going on.
Marcia.
And I think we're gonna have a problem.
Marcia, I mean, you like shopping.
I love shopping. And I mean, the other thing in terms of Brexit, my family live in Europe, they live in Portugal. And so for me, I voted to remain.
Because of shopping?
Because of definitely shopping. Definitely. I mean,
Have a look at this.
already.
Please have a look
I
at
know.
it,
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, got these shoes from Macy's in Miami. Okay.
Yes.
But, I voted to remain.
Yes.
And already, just speaking, not as a political commentator, but just someone who loves shopping.
Yes.
And loves my family. The impact on my parents,
Yes.
they're retired, they live in Europe, their pension now, there's been an impact on the level of their pension and so on.
Right, you mean those things will eventually take hold,
Yes. And so there's some direct, I think people definitely made a decision to leave because people were fed up and wanted change.
Yes.
But definitely were misguided. Didn't really know what they were voting for. And that's not just about the race issue.
Yes.
That was black and white people.
So tell me, sorry,
Yeah.
Maxie.
But one of the things that the most upbeat thing for me here is that a large number of young people voted to remain. And that for me is optimism.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Birmingham and the Midlands, what's the mood like? I mean, in regards to Brexit.
Well, I think it's a general mood.
Yeah.
It's across the country really the same sort of mood. The mood is that people don't really know what they're really voting for to leave,
Yes.
and I don't think you can just target Birmingham or one particular place.
Yes.
The actual country is confused at the moment
Right.
because a lot of people don't really know what Brexit is.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, the Prime Minister said Brexit is Brexit.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
that's one easy way of
And then the question
defining
is,
it.
then, what is Brexit?
What is it?
What is Brexit, guys?
Mike, the point is how is it going to be impact, what I like, on this generation and future generation?
I think
that is the point I'm
Yeah.
concerned about.
I think that people are feeling are disappointed.
Yes.
They're either disappointed that some people didn't go out to vote, or they're disappointed in the people that voted to
Remain,
leave,
to leave, yes.
and yeah, anxious about what is this going to. I think people are realising that there could be quite a
Yes.
negative
Yes.
impact on the quality of our lives.
So
because
therefore,
of this.
Repercussions.
Yeah. So therefore,
Yeah.
one of the most important thing then is that we are still in Europe,
Yes.
but eventually we'll be trying to
Yeah.
leave the EU. Another thing in Europe, the Calais Jungle is now destroyed, which is a migrant camp in Calais with children arriving in the UK. But I just want to home in into one particular point.
So-
Why do they call it the jungle?
It's derogatory. It's derogatory. Anywhere people are,
Yeah.
anywhere black people or minority people are
Yeah.
congregated, right? It's labeled a jungle. A
Yes.
jungle is where animals run around,
Yeah.
and people are living in
squalor.
squalid conditions, So to label people who are running away or trying to escape
Yeah.
from poverty,
And disaster.
which is actually caused by this very Europe, France, Britain, they sell arms to these people, regimes that stabilize the region. These people are trying to escape from the problems which this country and France and others have created.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
They call it jungle because they are black people are poor people.
Marcia.
Sick.
Yeah, I was going to say the same
Yeah.
thing. It's that dehumanizing
Yes.
of people who have a right to live as people.
Yes, yes.
Yet, yes, they've been provided with maybe some food and somewhere where they can sleep, but they're not actually being able to live as humans.
Yes, yes.
And it is definitely about, as Maxie said, the fact that people are, they're in poverty.
Yes.
But they're humans.
Yes. So it's
It
really
dehumanizes.
so it's really a derogatory term.
Yes.
I'd like to hear what people think
Very.
as well. It's
Yeah.
very derogatory. So when you think about like Jungle Fever, the show Jungle Fever, it's that same sort of bracket there, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Right. So
Yes.
I mean, it's very interesting. I mean,
Animals,
I thought about it, and I mean, didn't want to go into too much
Yeah.
depth, but just
Yes.
that
But
word,
just that word.
the
Why
jungle.
jungle?
Why it's called a jungle?
Yeah.
And everybody keeps saying the jungle, the
Yeah.
jungle, the jungle.
Yeah.
Implication.
Terrible.
And when we look at the pictures, where I see most of the black people.
We are.
Yes, exactly.
We are indeed.
Exactly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we do not accept the word jungle,
No.
and let's hope that the powers that be.
Yeah.
Now, I can't go any further without talking about Trump and Clinton, right? Now, Hillary Clinton recently said she's now finally going to dump Trump, meaning she's now going to focus on policies. And I said,
Okay.
duh, finally policies.
time.
But then the FBI is now finding so much now on Hillary.
Yes.
And Trump is now saying, listen, let's just call it, man. Let's just call it. Just give it to me now. What's happening? Is the
I don't
US
know.
divided? What's going on with the US?
I mean, I've just recently come back from the US and just speaking to people
Yeah.
in the stores, on the streets, just people are just like, well, to be honest, you can just do anything in
Yeah.
this world now.
Yes.
If we've got Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton behaving like this,
Yes.
and particularly having Donald Trump as a presidential
Yes.
candidate, it's like, the world's gone crazy.
Yes.
The world has just gone
But
crazy.
isn't America is the fault of this? Isn't the people of America that made this happen?
Yeah.
They're the ones. Maxie.
Yeah, listen. This man should never, Donald Trump, should never have even reached the point where we're discussing him now.
Yes.
Here is a man that ate women,
Yeah.
the mothers of the world.
He's got
He
8
hates-
hands. I already has 8 fingers.
Well, I don't
8
know,
hands.
maybe he's got
8
11,
hands.
you know.
The lady said his hands were all over her.
Yeah.
8
Oh,
hands.
yes.
Yeah.
A man that assault women,
Yeah.
a man that is derogatory comments about women. He doesn't like blacks. He doesn't like Mexicanos. He doesn't like he doesn't like Jamaicans. He doesn't like Africans.
But he counteracts all of that by saying in his organization he's got a wide
He
mixture
can
of
dress it up and he can get his wife out to prop him up as much as possible. He's not going to fool anyone, really. The man is a disaster. I heard from Hillary that
Hillary told you. I just asked
through
you.
the source,
Yeah,
through
Hillary
the
called you.
source, the news.
Yeah. Just checking.
She
You know
could
what I
have
mean?
get some advice from me as well.
Yeah.
But that the nuclear weapon it takes 4 minutes to press that button if there was a nuclear war. And she'd heard from the 7 people who monitor it that putting Trump in charge, it would be dangerous. I believe the man is tripping. You know, honestly, I cannot believe somebody who is supposed to be responsible could behave in this manner. And the sad thing about it is so many people are following him. Dangerous.
The thing about it, Maxie, though, he's doing it because he can. And like you were saying, Silborn, people have actually got him to that position. So this is a reflection of also the state of mind.
A reflection of the American people.
Of the American people.
Oh, yes.
And if you think about it, Maxie, this is similar to what's happened with Brexit, isn't it? It's a reflection of where people were thinking. So actually Donald Trump can do whatever he wants to do because
the American people allow him to this stage. But the thing about it is the dangerous thing. You can't allow him to, I don't want you to get in there. You can't allow him to go any further because no matter, and I don't think he can ever become president of the hype is just now. He's fighting nasty. All politics are nasty. But he's fighting nasty with the FBI. I don't think they're going to find anything more. But it's not the time. Within a few days, what Hilary wants to hear. Well, but my choice personally would have been Saunders as opposed to Hilary. But and as I said before, her husband Bill Clinton has been responsible for the incarceration of more black people than any other president, and he's apologized. But nevertheless, the damage has been done. A lot of black lives have been damaged under his regime. But nevertheless, Clinton is the better of two evils.
Well, anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue with this with Clinton and Trump because we're going to keep going on. But in Jamaica, something happened. I don't know if you've been following. The killing of this young man called Khajeel Mais from 2011, and then the alleged killer was acquitted because there was no gun, no ballistic, and also there was the witness recanted. So the question now is being asked: are the youths able to get justice in Jamaica?
Try that, Marcia.
Well, is anyone able to get justice in Jamaica? I mean, you know, I've been musing on this whole story and speaking to friends, particularly people who are in Jamaica, about what they think about the justice and particularly this case. And across the board, it's not just about youth getting justice. It's the fact that there is so much injustice. And and so much crime
and corruption as well.
You know, I mean, I was reading an article that's suggesting that corruption has reduced in Jamaica, that there's a scale, and that things have improved in Jamaica over the last 5 years.
I guess it depends on which reading.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's suggesting that it's improving, but it's still in the most corrupt countries in the world in that rating.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. This is because we know that the judiciary, we don't know. Somebody is innocent until proven guilty. And I think that's where I'm struggling here. And I can generalize the fact that corruption is in every government and in every society. So it's a difficult one here. Law and order in Jamaica is like anywhere else bad. I think we need more money, more resources to build a proper infrastructure.
Because
in order to
Barry Chevenis did a research recently and made some recommendation about the whole aspect of you know, when people give evidence or give testimonies, they should be recorded, so they can't just change their mind just like that as well.
The judiciary needs improving, and why this unfortunate case. But it's difficult to. The question is double. Is corruption and if the young man is innocent, you know, that's the other aspect of it. Because it's so twisted, the judiciary and the system. So he could have been innocent. So you have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That is the person who's alleged.
And right now, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer my sincere condolences to the young man who died. But justice is still
waning.
You know, so it's a sad one, that is, and I hope we can improve Jamaica judiciary system.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we heard about that, and we want to follow this up. But finally, Black History Month. Have we inspired? Are you inspired?
Don't provoke me. Don't provoke.
We're at the end of Black History Month. Are we inspired? Are you inspired?
Listen, let me tell you this before I give it to Marcia. Semi-piece. Black History Month is 365 days a week. We are Black History. What I don't like is that, when I talk about blacks, I'm talking about people who looks like us.
Yes.
Our ancestors who had the whips on their back across the Atlantic from the slave trade.
Yes.
That's how I define black. I got a problem with the word political black because, and we're going to have a big debate about it. They asked me to organize a conference in Birmingham.
Okay.
Because I talked to some national people in London. I won't call any names at this moment. But I think the time has come for us to review the political blackness, because I really do think that the biggest mistake we made, people like me, who, you know, my age group and stuff, was when we accept the political term black.
Yes. Because
other people benefited from it.
Yes.
They get rich off of us, and we don't benefit. It's only when they have problems, these people who I'm not going to go into, or when there's money involved, then they become black. Now, Silburn, I don't mind people jumping on the black bandwagon, but they must be consistent in that process. And as a result, I think that we've been used and abused, and it's about time we review that situation. Having said that, I don't want people to go around and call me separatist and what have you, but they can't.
But are you a separatist?
No, they can do that if they like. What we need as black people, right? We need political alliances.
Yes.
But not for people who just suddenly claim their blackness on those circumstances. And one of the things is, what I blame is the local authorities, and I'll let you talk in a minute. Local authorities and their diversity, how they diversify things. Is funding. They will rather to fund things that are on a diverse level than
dealing with authentic.
That's right, and thus it reduces us, and we're just going with our mentality with the begging bowl. We need to move away from that.
Marcia.
Yeah, I mean, my personal understanding of Black History Month in this country is definitely about the fact that there was a gap in terms of African and Caribbean history and celebration of our heritage and culture. And what I feel is that when we have this Black History Month now, there's a dilution of that. And again, picking up on what Maxie said, that and in years gone by, we could get funding for specific African and Caribbean activities, but that has changed with the whole diversity agenda, and also because there's less money. And so Black History Month, for me, I was away most of it.
Buying shoes.
Buying shoes, I was.
The priority was in the right place.
That's right, buying shoes. And in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, yes.
And, but I think that we could do more, you know, but I think it's, Maxie, it's about also us. It's again about us and not having the economics or something. Because we're having to be dependent on getting funding to celebrate who we are. We need to be celebrating who we are, as Maxie says, all the time, and educating ourselves, young people, and other people.
Fantastic. 30 seconds, Maxie.
Peter, this year theme in Birmingham, for instance, it's about Peter Tosh, the uncompromising Peter Tosh, the unapologetic Peter Tosh, with one of his lyrics. I forget what it's called. And I was sitting there in this theatre, and I was just cheering. I was just happy with the theme. You know, the one and only Peter Tosh. And all of a sudden, it just became diluted. It just became diluted, and it just spoiled it for me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to dilute the show anymore. And I want to thank you so much for joining interview with Marcia Spence and Maxie Hayles and in Birmingham. Okay, thank you very much, and see you next time.